to Momentum in Real Estate, your guide to success in the dynamic world of real estate. I'm Cory Wolf.
And I'm Kristin James. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned pro, we're here to help you reach new heights.
Success in real estate comes from learning, growing, and serving others.
Join us as we dive into strategies for lead generation, marketing, market trends, and client relationships.
Get ready to ignite your momentum and achieve your goals in real estate.
Let's dive in and unlock your full potential.
This is Momentum in Real Estate.
Hey everybody, meet Dani Burns, a Lake Lanier local with big energy, deep roots in Georgia, and a serious talent for matching people with their perfect home. With a background as a broker and former real estate firm owner, she brings sharp negotiation skills, market expertise, and a genuine love for people to every transaction. A certified luxury specialist and multi-million-dollar producer, Dani is especially skilled with investments, trades, and waterfront living. When she's not working, she's out on the lake, traveling, or hanging with her boys and husband, Mark. Warm, savvy, and fun to talk to, Dani makes real estate feel like a day on the lake. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
We're so excited. So, Dani, tell us about your real estate story and how you got here.
Yeah, so I went to work at an attorney's office in high school, and I thought that I wanted to be an attorney. And I started back then, this is like 2000, typing checks on a typewriter. And I was like, whoa, these real estate agents, they do pretty well. Of course, I didn't know that there's splits and the different things. So I ended up getting my real estate. I went ahead and went to college, came home that first summer, got my real estate license, and I started selling, and I just never went back. To my parents' dismay, they were kind of like, okay, out the door then, there you go. If you're not going to go back to college, you better make it work. And I'm just strong and gritty enough that I surely did. And so here we are, 24 going on 25 years later.
What a cool story. Oh my gosh, I wish I would have started in my 20s. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's been a great career for me. There's so many things looking back. I'm like, I should have invested more. I should have kept that property more, all the different things. But it's been an awesome journey and a great career for me.
Totally. Tell us real briefly where you've hung your license. I know you were out on your own for a little bit. Give us kind of the highlights of your brokerage experience.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got my license and I went to a Caldwell Banker in Blue Ridge, Georgia. I was there for maybe a year, then went over to Remax in Blue Ridge and was there, started a team, ran that at a high level. Then ended up meeting my children's dad, who was an investor. That market there is mostly second homes and cabins. So we ended up getting married and I moved to Gainesville, Georgia, to Lake Lanier. And that would have been 2016. No, that was not 2016. That would have been 2006. And I had my 10 years earlier. So then I had my first son. His name is Sean Paul. I had him. And while I was pregnant with him, my husband said, I think you need to get your broker's license. Then you can do my transactions because we had met through real estate and stay home. So I waddled up our super steep driveway at 8 months pregnant and went to the broker's class, got my broker's license, started my own company that I just kept in my house. Ended up, I had that for 3 years, had another baby along the way. His name is Roman and he was born in 2010. And then, so just had, it was called Georgia Property Brokers. They had that for 3 years, only did our personal things. And then 2010 came with a new baby and no work for me, who had just basically reined it in, was doing referrals to Blue Ridge and moved to a new town where I didn't know anybody. And we were about to lose our home because my husband was in real estate. He was not a realtor, but he flipped, he, did developments, those kind of things. And during this time when I'm having my children, this huge recession comes. So enter Bev Knight, who worked at Keller Williams in Gainesville. She came to my home to list our home because we had to sell it. And my husband said, Dana is the best real estate agent there has ever been. She's thinking about, and needing to have some more income coming in. long story short, Bev was about to start a team on Lake Lanier. I went to lunch with her. And then in December of 2010, I joined Keller Williams Lanier Partners, and I've been here ever since.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was on her team for 11 years. Unfortunately, went through a divorce, went through a period of being a single mom, remarried, and have a great husband named Mark now. We have a blended family of 5. And 3 years ago, I decided it was time when I turned 40, it's time for me to step out. And I'm a solo agent here now, same company. And so that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years, building a solo career.
Wow. So you've gone through so much. We could go in all the different directions. I'm curious, like how your mindset and faith has led to your success in this real estate career.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, you be a single mom in the real estate business for one day. And if you're not hollering out to Jesus, I don't know. It's so much like the juggling of it all, the worrying if you're going to get paid. Are we going to be able to meet the bills? All those things to me. I allow me to lean into my relationship with Jesus. And just, I'm so thankful to, have his words in the Bible and things to lean on and draw from so that, I can feel like there's somebody higher than me truly orchestrating things and working all things to my good. And so that is how my faith has grown for sure. And just bringing my husband into my life and, all the different ways. And then when I started my solo career, I really had not thought about this, but I gave my business to the Lord, like a dedicated, like the moment where there was a conversation, and I just said, use me and use this business for your good. And it seems so silly to think I was saved at 6. I've been a Christian, like Christianity's been in my life this whole time. But 3 years ago, I just, was like, oh, I actually need to give my business to him too. And I'm sure in other ways I was, but that direct conversation and intentional dedication has, I just can't tell you the ways he's worked and just the great abundance he's brought into my life.
That's awesome. So a lot of our listeners and viewers are women in real estate. And so I wonder if you could kind of talk to that audience for a moment, just in terms of like, you've obviously navigated a lot of hurdles and different parts of your real estate journey. What sort of advice do you have for women specifically as they navigate the industry? Some of our listeners are just getting started. Some are, have been in for a handful of years and really want to kind of level up and reach kind of a different stage, maybe of stability or predictability. What sort of counsel do you have for our women?
I think the one thing I wish I had done sooner and longer is just truly believed in myself and not let limiting beliefs creep in. I don't have a college education, so I would let that be a limiting belief. I didn't understand how to run numbers. I didn't know exactly what that meant. I always knew I was good with people and with relationships, but um, I learned on in that you can leverage those kind of things. There's all kinds of ways to, whatever part of real estate is scary for you and you don't feel like you're as most confident in, I would say, find sources to fill that gap sooner. I would also say to just, working moms, new agents, when I counsel with them, affirmations is huge, huge for me. Goal setting and seeing those goals. I'm a vision board person. That seems like such a pie in the sky thing, but that totally works for me. Everything pretty much on my vision board manifests and comes true. So I think just some of those simple things and just not giving up. I think so many people get into this business because they want flexibility. They're a mom who wants to be at the ball games. They're a mom who wants to provide for their children. And they end up getting out because they don't figure out what schedule can work for them and what lead generation looks like. And for me, that's, an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon, and making when I'm with others intentionally, at a ball game or with the I was the president of the PTO, getting involved in places that have a dual role, right? I'm doing something great for my kids and my family, but I'm also, they know I'm a real estate agent, and we're talking about that and having those conversations. So I think kind of realizing that whatever your everyday life is can be your lead generation is huge. And I wish more people would lean into that and grasp that sooner.
Golly, it's so true. And it can take one like bad egg or one client or one situation for us ladies, especially, to just go down this rabbit hole of disbelief in yourself. And it's just, you have to, like you said at the beginning of this podcast, you have to have that grit and the tenacity to really overlook that and look at the positive things that are going on in your life and what you're really good at. I feel that so much. And
Yeah.
I just want to highlight again what you said about giving your business to Jesus. I think that is
Yeah.
just so awesome and so touching. Because that's not something you think about, It's just, I don't know. You're like you said earlier, you just did it a couple years ago, and it's constantly talking to God, but not giving my full business to. So
Right.
that's so good, Dana. So
I
good.
quit working on Sundays. I mean, at 23 years, I worked every weekend, all the things, all the time. I've never had an off button. I've had no boundaries.
Mm-mm.
This year, the Lord was really dealing with me about working on Sundays. So for me, I do not anymore. Now, do I answer my phone? Of course, but I'm not setting appointments. I'm not opening doors. I'm giving that day to my family. And I can't tell you how much more businesses came because I'm trusting, right? And so I know people, I know that may, sound out of left field for some people, but for me, it has only prospered me.
That is so, so good. And people have to respect that. And if they don't, like,
They're
bye.
not for me.
Have a
That's
nice day.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, just that whole concept of setting boundaries and doing it for yourself and for your family, and then I think it garners more respect from the people who really want to work with you and that you want to work with. And I just think, yeah, for women in particular, it's so easy to run ourselves into the ground and think, because we have high capacity and we can juggle a lot of things all the time, we can sometimes take advantage of that to our own detriment. And so to be able to like pull back and say, you know what, I could do 12 things on Sunday and like have some time for my family too, but I'm not going to. Like, I'm going to
yeah.
set a firm boundary. And
Yeah, it's like my first firm boundary in 24 years. I'm super proud of myself
Amazing.
because I just love helping people. And also, if I'm 100% honest, who doesn't like having money in the bank and going? I love to travel. I work for that. I work to provide for my children. All these things. So it's hard to say no. And let me tell you, the first week I did that, I got a $4 million listing. Guess what? They asked me the first Sunday, can you show the house? And I just said no. And it worked out and it's okay. But that I was like, I see you, like testing me. And so, I mean, it's worked for me. It's been so good. And I'm just thankful to have that time. And I look forward to it. I wrote in my calendar on Sundays, it says, Dana is resting in the arms of the Lord. And like, I just lean into it. I'm like, and it's just been such a peace for me. So whatever day that is for people, I just say, man, I should have taken time for myself sooner. Got some like cortisol issues and different things from so much stress for so long. And I don't have to have, it is okay to say no and take time for yourself. I'm so
Yeah.
glad so many people, there's a voice for that now in our industry. And 20 years ago, 24 years ago, there wasn't. It was work. I was taught to work all the time. You answer your phone every time. I do see that change. And I am thankful for that for people coming up and people who are starting because you just, you have to feed yourself. You have to pour into yourself too. You can't just give everything all the time.
Yes. I can't think of the author of that book called Boundaries. Have you read it?
Yes, I have read it. And
Okay, good. So
yes,
good.
so
That,
good.
if anybody hasn't read that that's listening, you've got to read that because it's so good, especially in our industry. Okay, so Dana, something I didn't know about you until like now is that you run Airbnbs. So tell us
Yeah.
how many, what you do, all the things.
Yeah, so I have 2 Airbnbs in St. Simons Island, Georgia.
Oh,
I have had others in my lifetime, in Destin, Florida, in Blue Ridge, Georgia, but the for whatever reason, the one in St. Simons do super well. We're not right on the ocean or anything. We're actually 4 miles from the beach, but they do really well. I bought my first one in 2021, started working on that. And then last year, our neighbor just called and wanted to know if we wanted to buy his house. And we said, okay. So we have both of those. I run them myself with a cleaning lady. I, handle the bookings. It's pretty automated. So if anybody thinks, oh, I don't know if I have time, it actually truly does not take very much time. There's setup on the front end of, getting the professional photos, having the house ready, etc. But after that, it's really, pretty on autopilot with Airbnb and Verbo. Did anybody else say VRBO until those commercials came out? I mean, I said anyway, Verbo, I guess it's called.
oh my goodness. That's
I
so
know
awesome.
it's like counterintuitive,
I
but
know. I'm like,
yeah.
wait, yeah,
And I say it both ways because I'm
I
like,
do
well,
too.
it's the letters. Like,
Yeah.
you're just saying the letters.
Yes. Yes.
So, kind of continuing along that train of thought, like what tips would you have um for realtors that are looking to dive into short-term rental investments? Obviously, other than like start earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Start earlier. Yes. But if you can't start earlier, we can't rewind the clock. I would say that the piece that I didn't think about, I am blessed to be married to a CPA. And as realtors, we pay such a great tax amount, right? I mean, we're, individual agents, lots of taxes. It's an amazing tax write-off. Mine personally are not huge cash cows, but what we do get is a great tax write-off, free vacations, and they do pay for themselves. So can't say that I have on mine personally because we go there often and our kids want to visit. My father-in-law lives in St. Simons. He's 92. So, that those are the best things about it from my point of view. I would say that what else would I say? Let me think. I would say you need a draw. So our first house has a really awesome garage, but instead of using it as a garage, we turned that into a area with a ping pong table and ladder ball, cornhole, fun things. So I think you need some kind of a draw. I also think about I really think it's fairly important to choose a single family home over a HOA association or condo association. So we've done that just because those rules I'm noticing can change things, the amounts you have to pay monthly. I'm never able to make the numbers work personally when I have a huge condo fee every month. So I'd really say look into, single family homes if you're thinking about doing an Airbnb as well.
No, that's brilliant. So, how has it impacted your real estate career? Like, do you feel like it's helped you in different ways?
Yeah, so I would love to have one on Lake Lanier. I have not done that yet, a short-term Airbnb here. There's different areas you can do that in on Lake Lanier and different areas you can't. It definitely has made I'm able to speak to others about investing more because I'm investing, even if it's in another marketplace. And I am hopeful that in the next 3 or 4 years to grow a team, obviously I have a Georgia license. I can sell real estate in St. Simons, which is in Georgia. So I hope to grow a team that way. But it is helpful just to talk to investment. I do have others that have bought a short-term rental on Lake Lanier, and we can just talk so well about that. And I can give them some spreadsheets or different things that could be helpful. So that's probably the way it's helped me the most is really just relatability and being able to encourage them that yes, this can happen. You could spend a weekend a month here and it can still pay for itself. And so it's, good that way. Plus all the earned equity you get, just by having it. It's just, I truly believe real estate's the best investment.
Absolutely. You're preaching to the choir. And that's the message we communicate on the regular with our clients as well. I want to switch gears a little bit and kind of jump back into a little bit of mindset. And this whole concept of like a scarcity mentality versus an abundance mindset. And I feel like, we all have experience where having a scarcity mentality has literally cost us business, not just like an impact on our overall well-being. But can you talk about maybe a time in your journey in real estate, or maybe just in life, where a scarcity mentality kind of cost you something, and then how adopting an abundance mindset has really changed
Yeah,
how you
a
operate?
100%. When we lost our home, I feel like my hands were in a fist, closed. And I feel like I was so worried about, um, what will I do? Will there be enough? Is there gonna be enough? I need to save, save, save because I don't know what's next. And just so, Chicken Little, the sky's falling mindset. And then after hitting a rock bottom and building my career and building up again, I just felt like I need to have my hands open, right? And a thought of there is always enough. All my needs are met. So I'm affirming that with my words. I'm believing that. I'm thanking the Lord for that. And my hands are truly just open to give and to receive. And so, with that mindset of there's always going to be enough, I have enough, instead of me running around saying, what are we going to do about this? I don't know if there'll be enough. What if we don't have enough money? Asking those questions subconsciously takes your mind there. But if I can, when that creeps in, and it does, I mean, I've really been working on my mindset for probably the last 7, 8 years, pretty strong. So, but those thoughts still creep in. We're human, right? I better hit an affirmation. I am blessed. I have everything I need. I have more than I need. I can give to others. Those kind of things, and I write that, and just when I get in a bad place, starting with gratitudes, what I'm thankful for, what I'm grateful for, it instantly changes your energy. If you can really think of your brain and as yourself as a positive or literally a negative, and go toward that positive charge, because your body is energy, and just grasping that thought too, and taking it to the positive side will truly change your life.
So I find affirmations super hard to remember to do. So, and I recently found like a YouTube channel that had ones like based on, I basically like Googled. It's really, the internet is amazing these days. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, everything you need is like right there. So I just like plugged it in and listened to it probably the last like 2 weeks, but I stopped again. And I'm realizing, like things are thoughts and things are starting to get back. So how have you like reminded yourself, or what are the triggers for you? Because I think women
Yeah.
just struggle in general to, one, realize that it affirmations truly do help, and two, like to actually do it.
Right. So, as a mom, we're taxi drivers. It's that car time. I make the most of car time, carpool time. I mean, and so for me, it's after I drop my son, mine are getting older. They're 14 and 18. So, but my youngest son, after I drop him off at school, from school to work, I'm not going to answer mom's call. I'm not going to, whatever it is, that is my time for affirmations. And I just know I have to do that every day. I know the ride every day, and so that is when I do it. That works out best for me. And just committing to that. I mean, everything's a commitment, right? And everything is like a choice. Do I answer mom's call? I know she wants to catch up, or can I do that later and be intentional about what I need this morning to do the best for I'm using mom because my mom calls me all the time. It can be whoever, but we have that morning conversation with somebody. We just do. Like your phone's. So to me, I'm like, and I did tell her, but anyway, I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna call you later. I'm doing affirmations, or I'm, you know, whatever, but that's the time for me that works the best. And it sets my day. Before that, I've already been up an hour before my kids get up, and I've, had some quiet time and wrote gratitude. So I just think sticking to some certain times that you're going to have every day and just doing it.
It's so good, and it's such good counsel that, I mean, I think frankly we're all still learning, and it's a roller coaster, where we'll have periods of our life where we're doing it well and we're disciplined and we have that routine, kind of locked in, and then you go on vacation for a week and you come back, and it takes a while to get the wheels back, in motion and get back into that rhythm. But that, I feel like so much of it comes from experience and just growth and maturity and learning the benefits of, call it time blocking, call it discipline, whatever you want to call it. It's just making those intentional choices that are going to benefit you in the long run if you're faithful to do them and commit to them. So I love that.
I also love I did not do this. I wish I had. I was with a coach, a year ago, and he does it with his children. I don't know why I did not think more about including my I have now, but I wish it when they were younger in the car, I was like, "Repeat after me. This is what this guy did with his kids." That's so good. Like, I mean, yes, I'm like, you they should teach mindset in school along with how to balance a checkbook, but I didn't do that sooner. Now I blow them up with TikToks and whatever else about my, like, "God, mom." But I think incorporating that in with your kids, how beneficial could that be?
Well, and last weekend, the pastor said, we were raised to constantly say to our kids, be careful leaving. And he said, God, I wish I would have known this whole affirmation things, because he's like, be courageous. Like now he's doing it with his grandkids now. He's like, be courageous. And I'm like, oh, that's so good.
So
Like
good.
we just need them to, yeah, to be exuberate that. So,
Yeah.
so good.
That's awesome. Well, I know we're beginning to wind down our time and our conversation. So wondered, Dana, if you can sort of reflect on your, deep experience, 24 years in the industry, what would you have done differently when you were getting started? If you were starting now, what things would you do differently? Um, and I know you've touched on a few things, but maybe come back to address them more fully.
Yeah, I think that if I was starting a business today, I would find the top 3 things that I love. Like, for me, definitely one would be social media, and I would lean into that. I would not feel the need to spend a ton of money to grow. There are so many free and easy things you can do. I'm leaning into AI right now to grow my business. That is a whole game changer and something that I think new agents should totally explore. I'm just now exploring that myself. But I think staying on the edge of some of these technology things while also building your database. I didn't really concentrate on that until maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And having a strong database, touching them regularly, staying top of mind is something that's so important, and continually meeting people to add to that database. So those 3 things, AI, social media, database, would be where I would start and how I would launch.
Golly, and the database thing is something that I hear over and over again from new agents. Like, I don't have anything. I'm like, just literally take a spreadsheet, a Google spreadsheet, and just write first name, last name in a column, separate address, first address, like you were going to input it into a CRM, and just keep using that over and over
Yes.
again. Don't make it complicated. Don't get into a CRM. Just literally start listing your people and connecting with them, because yeah, that's such an oversight in our industry. And I don't understand, there's so much push from other brokerages just to be like, you need a CRM, you gotta see, and there is magic in a CRM, but a CRM could be very simple,
Sure. I mean, AI can create you a CRM. I mean, it's
Right.
amazing what you can create and have and use. It can create your program to touch your clients, weekly, however much you want to touch them. A thing that I've added in the last 3 years since I've done a solo career is a monthly newsletter. Everybody talks about them. Mine's super personal and super like hyper local to my area. And that one touch plus one other a month, which we're just adding that with like an event or a new restaurant I liked or just something personal. The response from that is epic. I mean, it is huge. People just like love to get that. My open rate is almost 50%, which is super high because I make it personal. So I think that is really something, again, free, cheap, and easy to touch people that you can do.
Well, and again, AI, something that you talked about this entire podcast was mindset. Like you can
Yep.
even ask ChatGPT or whatever AI you're thinking of, like, I'm struggling with depression. Like I don't want to take medicine. Help me with recipes, help me with affirmations, help me with everything and remind me to do it daily. And it'll do it all for you. Like
It will do it all.
and it's just things that you don't think about using it for. Even the other day, I just did it for dinner. I was like, I have asparagus, some fish, throw me a recipe. And it did.
And it is a fantastic travel agent. It does all my travel planning on everything.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, I think people in general, but realtors in particular, we tend to like overcomplicate a lot of things, or think that the solution is some complex, multi-layered solution when oftentimes it's really simple. And so kind of a segue into like what might be one of our final questions here, but how do you combat kind of the functioning on an island? I feel like that's something we encounter a lot in our industry, even though there are a ton of realtors in every market. We tend to sort of operate with this like Lone Ranger mentality and feel like we're all on our own. We're competing against everybody else. How have you found ways to combat that, especially now, like as you've transitioned into being a solo agent? How do you still create, nurture community with your peers and competition, frankly, but really combat that isolationism that I think is so prevalent?
I think I'm definitely known for collaboration. For instance, I just sent over a ton of free photos to an agent who we both went up for the same listing. She got the listing, I didn't. And a tornado came through our area. I have dock pictures from the house next door of the community dock. She asked me if she could buy those. I was like, girl, you can have them for free. I mean, so I think putting yourself out there as a kind agent who wants to collab, don't be afraid to set up coffee dates, reach out, make connections. I love coffee dates and lunch dates. That's like the best, right? And for me, I have to have an office at the office. I love a good home office. I have one, but I'm going to be letting the dogs out doing laundry and distracted. So having an office space here at my office is huge. That way I can, see people walking down the hallway, talk. We have a weekly team meeting at my brokerage. That's super helpful. I'm active in my local board of realtors. So I think being intentional about getting with other agents and not being shy to ask people to lunch or coffee is a big part of, having community.
And community is so important. That has been my mission this week, that we are just getting further and further away from it. And yep, we really need to lean into that. Well, Dana, thank you so much for everything. And before we get off, I just want to say that Dana's name is spelled Dani Burns. So if you guys ever want to connect with her, reach out. I know it's very easy to find a realtor online. You've been incredible, Dana. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. And I hope that's
Yes.
okay. I was like, I just want people to be able to search for you and not the.
Thank you. I
Uh-oh.
know, Dana with an I. Thanks. You guys were so sweet. That was so easy. That was a easy, easy, easy. It's always nice to just talk to other ladies.
Yes, we are gonna have to see you when we come to Gainesville next.
Oh,
Were you at the Big Aha? Did you come?
yeah, I was there. Were you guys there?
Yes.
I had to leave like before it was over, but yes, I was there.
Well, I had a dang ear infection. I went up on stage. I was the panel about lead generation with Jessica.
Yes, yes. Okay,
And then
yeah.
Kristin was the host.
Yeah, I was like, I know I saw Cruz. That's why you look familiar. I was like, I know, yeah,
Isn't that
okay.
funny? Like, how do I know that person?
I know.
Why
I
is
was like,
she
I
familiar?
know. And I was like, does she look like another Kristin I know? That's what it is. Okay, good.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
She was so sick that day.
I was so sick. My ear just all of a sudden like clogged up and I had an ear infection. I was like, where do I go? I was like, Jessica, in between her going up on stairs, like, Jessica, where do I go?
Oh my gosh, bless your
Uh,
heart.
no, but it's over. We figured it out. Thank goodness.
Oh,
And yeah, I
But
didn't know.
really, we love Gainesville, and like I said, we have so many friends there, and so if we're ever there again, we'll
let
look
me
you up
know.
and get
Yeah,
together. That would be really fun.
absolutely.
And we really do. We value like the partnerships that we've made through the podcast. So you said you don't know anybody in the Asheville market. Well, now you know the
Yeah,
two of us. And
that's
so if we
right.
could ever be of help to you here, we would love that. And we really do value like building and continuing a relationship. So don't be surprised if we reach out and just like want to get like a virtual coffee and catch up with you and
Yes.
your business and see how things are going. We would love that.
I would love that. I would love that. Something we didn't touch on, and I don't know, but like people ask me sometimes is about building a luxury business. And do you either of you sell luxury? Is that a focus for either of you?
Well, I don't know about folk. I mean, kind of. Yeah,
Does
I
it just allow that in your market for the price
Yeah.
point? Because Asheville's expensive, right?
oh yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cory has a big listing right now. I've got one that's just under 1 million. So yeah, we're both very open to it. And
Well,
um,
do you have that? I love that. Do you have the luxury designation?
Cory
Okay, good.
does. Yep.
I love that. I think that's super helpful. On the other podcast I was on, we talked about that a little, but just like marketing yourself that way, getting yourself in the room with people who are maybe in that price point and different things. I think that is a good thing. So anyway, maybe one day we'll talk about that or something. But
Yeah.
Totally.
Do you ever find that people are like, oh, I'm not going to use her because she's luxury only? Do you ever?
100%. And so I started like throwing a little bit like I made sure to just in my social media start, I do it all, like I just love helping people and making that more the focus than um just big. I mean, who doesn't love a big luxury listing? They're awesome. Also, they don't sell every day, and I need regular closings too. So,
Exactly.
yeah, just and
Exactly.
also kind of breaking the thought that you can only do one or the other. Like, I feel like that about marketplaces too, because I'm like, I know St. Simon's and I know Blue Ridge, all those markets really well. If I had, more time and different, and maybe one day I'll be in all three, but
Yeah.
it's like with the world and technology today, we can do so much. So I don't like to limit myself.
I didn't realize you were reading. I just went to follow
Oh,
you.
it's girl, I'm gonna be there on Mother's Day
Oh,
at her
so
thing.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's on tour right now. I know
Yeah,
some
I'm
people that
excited.
saw
Yes.
her in I think she was in Eastern North Carolina. I can't remember where. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
It's so good. I'm like, I listen to it while I'm in the shower, so it's taking me a
Uh-huh.
long time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I love it so, so, so much.
I do too. I'm like, I need to read it again, like, just
Mm.
because I got it and
Totally.
then I need to get it a little deeper, It's so good.
Exactly. Just that repetitive nature to it. So
Oh,
good.
well, thank you, Dana. We appreciate your time so, so much.
Thank you, ladies, and I hope I talk to you again soon.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
Have a
Sounds
you.
great
great.
day.
You
Bye.
too.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Momentum in Real Estate. We hope you found valuable insights and strategies to propel your real estate journey forward.
If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us continue to deliver content that resonates with you. Remember, success in real estate is about continuous learning, growth, and serving others. Keep that momentum going and watch your business thrive.
Until next time, keep pushing forward and bringing your real estate dreams to life.
This is Cory Wall
And Kristin James signing off from Momentum in Real Estate.